Put your hands together right now for Charles and Sue from Singapore, and they are going to be presenting first some videos for you.
Hey! Do you know that we scheduled the same person for the same service again?
We really need someone on keyboard this Sunday. Can you find somebody else for Kids Church?
How many Christmas presents do I order this year?
In 2005, we had 247 people, but then the lease came and then some left, so it's 283? Or is it 267? I don't know, I can't keep track.
Hey, which room is the singles meeting held at today?
The class is cancelled. Didn't you know?
Thank you for coming. I want to talk to you about that vacant position we have for the head of the sound team. Would you be interested?
Oh, thank you, Pastor. I'm flattered. Actually, I've just been in church for a year.
Only here for a year?
Yeah, and just for Easter and Christmas services.
Huh?
I'm not even on the sound team. What? But I've just got one question. How much will I be paid?
I feel like this just before care group every week. I can't do this.
Just cancel care group. I do it all the time. Everyone is happy to have a night off. Come to think of it, I haven't had care group for the last 6 months.
This is such a waste of time.
I'm gonna have a meltdown.
Why is this so hard?
Have you heard of X? Follow me.
Most churches have records, but they're usually out of date, stored in different places, and difficult to retrieve, which makes it
Pointless to upkeep.
Impossible to make sense of?
Discouraging to even try.
But X is a church management system that is easy to adopt. It helps make sense of the data you collect all in one place. With X, you see a broad view of the church, as well as a detailed profile of each member.
The updates you make reflect on mine. That means every team can stay aligned.
We don't have to worry about double shedding the same person again.
As a member, I get notified of announcements and updates in real time too.
I can see an overview of every member's history from the discipleship classes they have attended, the service teams that they have served in, and giving records. Wow, now I really know who we can earmark for leadership.
Want to know what sets X apart? It is also a platform that includes training and discipleship for leaders and volunteers. After all, volunteers are the heartbeat of the church, and they deserve the best.
With this training platform, I can watch videos on the go and prepare to lead my small group.
I'll never forget to submit a report. And here's the 48 reports that have not submitted since the last 6 months.
X will grow with you as you grow.
So it can show me how the membership has grown in the last 6 months.
Yes, and you can even analyze mission pledges against actual collection.
Track the service of every member.
Oh, yes!
It can even provide real-time oversight over every activity happening in the church.
All my reports in real time, and you can even comment on them.
Can X find me a soulmate?
I don't think so.
So what you're saying is we should use X.
That's right.
Because it can make sense of our data.
Exactly.
And it keeps our teams aligned.
Precisely.
Most importantly, it can help us make disciples.
You got it.
X is so easy to use. Have you seen the app?
I think I love our new discipleship management system.
It's the best!
Hi everyone, my name is Charles and this is Sue. We are part of the team of developers and designers at X, and thank you all for joining us today. We are so honored to be part of the Movement Conference, and for the next few minutes, we want to share with you how X, as a disciple-making tool, has helped us at Tabernacle of Joy develop a disciple-making culture.
So, what is X? X stands for Apostolic Care and Training System. This idea was birthed in year 2010 as a church management database for TabJoy. At that time, all we wanted was to have a central place to store our data so that we could move away from paper and books.
Over the years, as we grew as a church, we began seeing the need for systems. We started asking questions like, how do we know if a disciple is growing? How do we know if our church is healthy? Are we making disciples? Are we developing leaders? And how many are there? And so we realized that what we needed was more than just a place to store data. We needed a system that was able to help us measure growth and health in our church?
To be able to measure can be really scary because numbers, they don't lie. But measuring is also very powerful because it can tell you where you are now so you know how to get to where you want to go. So we continue investing and developing, and we talk to pastors, leaders, and church members to get feedback, different perspectives, and to really understand their needs. We wanted a system that was relevant to the everyday running of the church, a system that would serve every single member.
So what does this system need? It needs to facilitate care for the people, to help pastors give oversight, and members can see real-time, up-to-date information, and even see records of their giving.
So we implemented this in Tapjoy over the years. We rolled it out to everyone, and everyone got on board. Pastors, they could now make sense of real-time data. Leaders, they now led confidently with training and accountability, and the members, they felt safe and connected to the church body. So with X, we have seen an increase of 50% more new leaders, and more new converts were staying and growing. The results were undeniable.
So from just a humble database that stored records, X is now a full-fledged system that is central to disciple making in our church. So in 2018, we decided to make X available for other apostolic churches all over the world. And right now, X is being used by over 40 churches all around the world across 11 countries. X is a system designed by apostolics for apostolics. So now let's take a look at some of the core features of X.
First up, let's look at our members feature. Our members are God's gift to you. As pastors, your role is to guide and lead them into spiritual maturity. With the members feature, you can see a holistic overview of each member. You will know what activities they've been involved in, roles they have served in, classes they have attended, and so on. You will know instantly the members that might need a bit more attention or those that you can earmark for leadership. The next feature manages your guests. Every guest that you get is precious, and you don't want to miss your chance with them. With the guest feature, you can coordinate follow-up efforts for every guest that comes through your doors and ensure none of them slips through the cracks. Next up, the events feature. Your church runs all sorts of events all through the year. With X, you can organize them with ease. Put them in a central calendar for all members to see. Members can register and make payment for events all through X. Save your event organizers the busy work, and they will thank you for it. As a pastor, it matters to you who turned up and who didn't. With the events feature, your teams can take attendance of members and guests right from the ease and convenience of their own mobile devices. Now, let's take a look at group life. Your church has different groups where members socialize and build community. With X, you can manage groups of all types, empower leaders to facilitate this group life by planning events and reporting back on them. This next feature is one of our favorites. Volunteers are the heartbeat of your church, and they deserve only the best. With our serving feature, you can manage your service teams with excellence. No more will you have to worry about double or triple scheduling the same person for ministry. While every team is empowered to manage their own volunteers, X allows all teams to stay aligned and in sync. Volunteers can even provide their can't serve dates in advance and also request for a substitute in the event they can't make it. The teams stay united and volunteers feel valued. The giving feature is up next. As a pastor, you want to create a giving culture for your church. With X, you can make giving so easy. Members can give online through their X account and even schedule regular contributions. We partner with Tithely and PayPal to ensure online giving is secure. Your records are clean and organized, and with just one click of a button, reports and statements are generated. Just like that. Let's talk about communications. We need touch points of all kinds. Keep your members informed and connected through SMSs, emails, and even push notifications through our very own X mobile app. Well, communication must happen both ways. So in order for that to happen, we have our form builder feature. You can create different types of forms, gather feedback, sign-ups, and so on. You can even link your guest registration, home Bible study, and discipleship class sign-ups to your website and watch all form submissions flow seamlessly into the same system. But what really sets X apart is our discipleship management features.
First, let us take a look at a very important feature within X, our Home Bible Studies feature. Home Bible Studies are one of the foundational building blocks of the Apostolic Church. It's like our bread and butter. Many churches have been planted and built up through Home Bible Studies. In fact, myself and many of you here today were won to Christ through a Home Bible Study. At Tabernacle of Joy, when we evaluated what was the most effective way to make disciples, turning a non-believer into a believer, it was our Home Bible Study ministry. At Tab Joy, we use Unlocking the Bible as our primary Home Bible Study tool. Unlocking the Bible is a systematic 12-lesson Home Bible Study series that we designed to help the student discover God's story from Genesis all the way to Revelation. It was designed with the student in mind, and we also illustrated from the ground up our UTB charts that are current and act as an excellent visual aid for teachers during their Bible studies. All these are made available through X. Not only will you be able to get a hold of the curriculum, but we also believe in training our Bible study teachers. In X, we have developed an online training feature where training can happen anytime and anywhere. Individuals who are assigned to the online training courses can view training videos and get access to their teaching material right from their mobile devices or their computers. We believe that everyone is a minister and everyone can teach a Bible study. We just need to provide training and empower them. And with X, all this can be done effectively and efficiently. But beyond just the material, we also see the need for administration of these home Bible studies. Pastors, you will want to know how many home Bible studies are taking place at one given time. And all this information is crucial in disciple making. You want to know how effective your teachers are and how many of those students are getting born again and are growing in their journey of discipleship. Through X, you can easily administer all of this, and you will be able to get a bird's eye view of all that is happening and give the oversight that is needed. The process is simple. Once a student signs up for a home Bible study, it could be a UTB or it can be any other home Bible study material such as Search for Truth. Your team can then easily assign a teacher to the student, and the system keeps track of each and every lesson for all the Bible studies that are taking place in your church. X will also provide a centralized reporting platform where your teachers can submit their Bible study reports through their own personal account. This way, accountability between the pastors and the teachers can be easily fostered through the system. Pastors, with this, you can provide support and counsel to your home Bible study teachers easily without having to rummage through different emails, different documents at different locations just to find that one report. Now, let's talk about discipleship classes. With X, your church can set up and manage discipleship classes easily. Through the system, you will be able to open registration for multiple classes to your members and guests. Attendance and reports can also be taken and submitted for every single lesson through our discipleship classes feature. Pastors, you can also now be able to gather feedback from the members about these classes. We have designed a 360 feedback evaluation where the students can fill up a feedback form about their experience for those classes. Another great feature for discipleship is our course library and teacher training. In X, there is a course library with a wide range of apostolic discipleship material that we have developed. These courses are suitable for all disciples ranging from new converts to mature saints. And X approaches discipleship with a simple 3-step process: train, teach, and track. Step 1, using the on-demand video training, the teacher is trained to teach. Step 2, once the training is completed, they can teach those lessons to their disciple or student. And step 3, you can track the progress of discipleship all in X. On top of all of that, for those of you who have your own training materials, X allows you to create your own customized training courses using the system to disseminate training and materials to your church. One last great disciple tool that I would like to share with you that you and your church can use right now is the Living Logos series. Living Logos is a self-study series designed to help your members take ownership of their discipleship journey. For new converts especially, studying the Bible can be quite a daunting thing. as it can be quite hard to understand at times. These books give an overview of the Bible from Genesis through the Gospels and even to the history of the early church. It also covers practical principles that will help your disciple in their spiritual growth. With Living Logos, the study of the scriptures are made easy. With these bite-sized lessons, it also helps to make the learning experience more enjoyable and motivating. The great part is this: we have the Living Logos both in paperback and in ebook. We have an app that allows users to fill up the lesson quizzes, and their progress is all integrated into their X profile. That way, pastors, you and your leaders will be able to see the steps that your disciples are taking on their own. The next feature is a game changer. It's our shepherding feature. This feature has helped us at Tabernacle of Joy tremendously in setting up and providing infrastructure and support for our small group ministry. With the shepherding feature, your church can implement the Jethro structure of discipleship through small groups. In Exodus chapter 18, Jethro instructed Moses to set up for himself different levels of leadership and oversight for the people of Israel. There were captains over thousands, hundreds, 50s, and tens. With this same principle, the shepherding feature was created with different levels of oversight, from groups to clusters and to zones. When it comes to reporting and accountability, your leaders will be able to submit their reports, be it group or one-on-one meetings, discipleship or outreach activities. Through this reporting system, there will be a two-way communication where you will be able to share your comments with your small group leaders. This way, every aspect of small group life is being captured and tracked in the system. Pastors, what this means for you is that you will be able to see the big picture of what's happening in all of your small groups and get a pulse of the health of each group. You can see an overview report of each group's efforts through accurate statistics. This way, you will be able to effectively and efficiently provide oversight and give direction for all your small groups. At TapJoy, X has helped us create this network of accountability between our pastors and our small group leaders, therefore allowing us to maximize the potential and success of small groups, and we believe that you and your church can benefit from this too. So these are all the core features that you can get with X, and we hope that you have been blessed by it. We want you to know that our heartbeat is to partner with you and your church to help create a disciple-making culture. Let's go make disciples.
Thank you for allowing us to share X with you. We hope that X will be a blessing to you and your church. For more information, you can visit us at xnet.org. If you would like to sign up for X, there is a promo code available for all movement participants. All first-time subscribers will enjoy a 20% discount.
And for those of you who are interested for more disciple-making training or resources, Pastor Timothy Lee will be holding an upcoming webinar on how to create a disciple-making culture in your church. And so if you're interested, you can register by scanning this QR code. We'll also be staying around for another 15 minutes for question and answers, so feel free to share with us any questions that you may have. Once again, thank you. Hi everyone, a good morning to you all the way from Singapore. I hope you guys have been blessed by what we shared. Just so that I know that everyone is there, if you all can wave at me, because I can only see your backs from where I'm at. All right, hi everyone, this is Sue. Why don't you say hi to them?
Hi everybody.
All right, so what we're going to be doing next is we're going to be collecting some questions. You know, if any of you have any questions regarding X or any of our discipleship tools that we've talked about, you can go ahead and scan the QR code that is on screen. Or if not, I believe you can go to the website slido.com and you can key in that event code 671970. And when you are there, you'll be able to kind of input any questions you may have, and feel free to do that. And in the meantime, as you guys are scanning the codes and putting in your questions, we're going to be rolling a few more promotional videos to showcase to you some of our other tools that we kind of did mention a little bit just now during our presentation. So sit back and enjoy the videos and, send in your questions if you may have.
Equip disciples to make disciples. Make use of an ever-expanding resource library that not only provides materials, but also trains the disciple maker. Resources written by apostolics for apostolics. From home Bible studies to discipleship courses, find resources catered to every stage of a believer's growth. Access training videos on the go, answer some simple questions, and download the material, all in the disciple maker's own time. Once trained, the disciple maker can teach others. Teach it one-on-one or in a group, face-to-face or virtually, and track them all in the same system. Together, we can make disciples. For courses available on X, visit www.xnet.org for a free account today.
Pastors, have you ever felt torn between the need for training your leaders and not wanting to put more on their already full plates? Have you cracked your heads trying to find a way to stay connected to your leaders amidst a full church schedule and life commitments? Introducing the Apostolic Academy, an online training platform for equipping and mentoring future leaders today. TAA is accessible. You can use it anytime, anywhere. Download training videos and quiz questions to your phone and watch it offline in your own time and at your own pace. Holistic, from doctrine to finances, small group training to practical holiness, a variety of topics are available for you to make available to your leaders. Interactive, students can share their reflections and mentors can give feedback with ease. Use the online forum to encourage group discussion amongst students. Whether you are a full-time pastor, a small group leader, or someone with a budding call to service, TAA can help you shape future leaders today.
For your time, and hope those videos was able to share a bit more information on what those things were. And thank you for all the questions. I was initially a bit worried, like, would anyone have any questions to ask? And then I'm seeing all these questions flood in. So thank you everyone for sharing that. Before we go into to answering the question, I do want to give a shout out and thank you to Brother Darren Cooper. Thank you, Brother Darren, for the countless hours, setting up and testing and making sure that the feed is coming through. So thank you very much. Why don't we all give Brother Darren a hand clap and thank him for the awesome job, to him and his media team. All right. Okay. So first up, the first question. Can I get can the media team help me just refresh the link so that the questions will show up on the slide? Okay, so I'll just go ahead with the first question. So someone asked, can you easily transfer your current church member database to the X database? Okay,
Okay, so that's a great question. What you can do is that you can export your data that is in a current system that you're using right now. And with X, we have a template that you can download right in your account. And as you follow that Excel template and put in your data, you can easily upload your data into the system. So it is a very seamless and easy to do thing. If at any point in time there is a need for us to help with that data transfer, we will be around to help that onboarding process. So yes, you can transfer data from whatever systems you are using now into X very easily.
all right. Okay. Hope that answers the question. So I know someone else also asked the question on the same regard about importing information from current platforms such as Breeze. So the same way that SuShed will be able to work for all other platforms. Okay, next question. I think they're still trying to work it so that you can see me scroll through the questions. So next question is, what success have you had with guests installing and opting into your app? What are best practices to get a first-time guest to be open to this connection? Okay. So, maybe if I can just share a little bit more to clarify on this. So for the X apps and the system that we've shared, so we usually will not, a guest will not have an account. Okay, so only members of your church will have an account that they can log in and access the apps and their own personal account. Okay, so in this case, as a guest coming in, I will not be directly interacting with this software or application. However, how this works with the guest in mind is that you will be able to implement guest registration. So in the past, for us in TJ, what we would do is, we will have our handwritten forms for guests to sign up. And many times after the sign up, we'll pass it to our administrator and they will kind of key into the system, oh, new guest. But with the X system, your ushers will be able to be, ready, whether it's with an iPad or their phones, and they have those forms ready open. The guests can immediately kind of fill in their information, and immediately when they register, that the guest contact details will be automatically updated within your guest database. Okay, so I hope that answers your question, that this is how we kind of integrate the guest into X. Anything else to add? Okay, so hope that answers the question. Okay, another question that we have. Okay, next question. Does X have the ability for people to sign up for small groups through the app?
Okay, so that's a great question. So before I answer that question directly, I do want to explain that X does have two types of groups two types of group features that you can use in the system. So the first one is just groups, where you actually have the flexibility of creating any kinds of groups. And for this particular feature, you will be able to allow members to sign up for these groups if you make it live. So for example, you might have five different kinds of groups that you allow members to sign up for and to be involved in. Every member has an X account. They can go into their account, look on their dashboard, and be able to see what groups are available for them to join. They can join it as a member, and the moment that they have joined that group, there will be a group leader in charge of it. They can create events, inform these members that are part of the group about upcoming events, give them reminders, take attendance, things like that. So that is the generic feature for groups. And then we have another feature, which is shepherding. Now, shepherding is focused on a very care groups or small groups that has a specific discipleship focus to it. So that's the two differences, the two types of group management that you can do. So to answer that question directly, as to whether members can sign up with groups, we would say yes, and that would be done under the group feature. So set those groups up, and members can join it themselves.
Okay, thank you, Sue. Okay, moving on to some other questions. Okay, I have a question from Joshua Driver. Okay, great question. So, question is, maybe you can help me flash up my screen. Okay, so currently the question is, what age group do you find interacting most frequently with the app? That's a very good question. Of course, naturally speaking, those who are more savvy with their phones or apps would be interacting most with the app. Of course, nowadays, I think almost everyone is able to learn how to use an app, whether it's the younger ones or even those who are more senior in age. So I would say that, so let me give an example for the crowd we have in TJ. So we have people that are the older and senior, like my parents, they are like in their 70s. And of course, we have people like youths that are in school that mean, okay, of course, for those who do not have a phone, then they will need their parents' help. Okay, so maybe let me share from my parents' perspective. So my parents, they took a while to get used to it, and they will ask me all the time, hey son, like, how do I do this? How do I register for the church event? How do I give through the online giving, you know? And it took me a few times to kind of like educate them and walk them through it. But right now, as I'm sharing with you, my dad is really good at it. He would sometimes ask me, hey, Charles, is there a problem with the app? How come I don't see my giving reflected, you know? And so, okay, I'll go and check out if there's anything wrong with that. And so he's already kind of like using it on his own. They are registering for church services, even without having to ask me about it. So I would say that definitely the people that are in the younger age group, there is no doubt they are using it the most. But at the same time, those who may be senior in age, they are also learning. It takes a while. They may not get it the first time, and they may keep asking you questions or your team questions, but they'll eventually get on board. Okay, so hope that answers the question. And I'm going to move on to the next question. Okay, let's look at a question here about giving. Okay, there's a question here, excellent question. Can X replace Tithely completely? Or is it used in tandem with Tithely?
Okay, so X has been linked up with Tithely. So if you already have a Tithely account, this is going to be a seamless and very easy process. So Tithely will then provide you some information. For example, they call them public keys and private keys. And all you have to do is just put them into your X account, and automatically all your Tithely data will be able to be seen in X. So your members will go into X and be able to give through X, and it will reflect both on Tithely and X. So I guess to answer that question, they actually work together. We have been able to integrate them, so you don't have to worry about maintaining two different systems.
Okay, so kind of riding on along the same train of thought another question is, what are the fees for giving, such as per transaction fees or percentage fees for electronic giving?
Okay, so I don't really have a percentage off the top of my head right now. But the great thing about X is that you will be able to decide whether you want to pass that fee on to the member that is giving, or you or that fee is being covered by the church. That means, for example, if let's say I were to give $100, is that fee going to be taken from the 100? So let's say that fee is $3, then it would mean from that 100 that the member gives, 97 will then be taken in as the offering to the church, and then $3 will be covering the fees. So you can decide whether the member covers the fees, and if the member covers the fees, they will pay 100 plus the 3. So that is something that you can decide on your end and be able to control it on the admin side of the account, whether you would like to pass on that fee to your members, or it'll be covered through their giving, taken through their giving as well. So yeah.
Right, so if you can see on my screen right now, when they are wanting to give online, when they put in the amount, immediately it kind of calculates what the payment gateway transaction fee is, so that they will, for us here in TJ, we make it mandatory that the members cover the transaction fees, because if not, it will be not their full 10%, So yes, hope that answers the question. Okay, next question. Okay. Let's look at a question about communication. So the question here is, what's the pricing on SMS and email communications? Okay.
Okay. So email communications are completely free. So SMS, we do tie in with an international SMS provider. So depending on the country that you are in, the SMS charges will be charged accordingly based on our SMS service provider. So the SMSs are pay as you use. So however many you send out, that would be the amount that you have to pay at the end of the month. So in terms of costing and all that, if you would be interested to know, we can get with you either over email or call some other time, and we'll be able to share those prices with you.
Okay, another question about communication is, do you offer group or batch text and communication abilities? Yes, we do. So within X, okay, of course, we have that membership database. And I think this is an excellent system of communication, especially for us. During this past 2 years, during this pandemic, it's been such a key communication tool for us. For example, when we needed to cancel our service because of last minute changes due to the pandemic, and immediately we would be able to select all our guest members. We could filter through whether you want to select a particular group of members, whether it's the youth group, or you want to send a message to the music team, or you just want to send it to your whole congregation. You'll be able to filter through, select those names, and you can immediately batch send your SMSs, your emails, and in fact, also your, push notifications. Like you saw on the video earlier, we have this app that is available. And talking about that, there was another person asking a question whether the members are required to download the app. Okay, excellent question. So the members app that will be made available for members is a app that contains features that are only related to members. So if your concern is, will my members start to see like certain things that they shouldn't be seeing, okay? So not to worry, because when a member is downloading an app on their phones, the X mobile app, it will be something that is only for member use. So they will be able to see things like their giving, how much they have given. Okay, so I think that will kind of like, that's really, really useful, because sometimes, if I forget to give my tithes, I don't have to call my pastor, or I don't have to call my church finance admin and say, hey, did I give my tithes for last month? I can just go into my own user account on my mobile app, and I'll say, I have not paid tithes this month, let me do it now. Another thing that they can access within their member app will be their serving schedule. I think this one, many of us can identify. Sometimes you wonder, am I on duty this week? Am I scheduled to be on worship leader this coming Sunday? And I think being a media department head, I know I have had countless and countless of times where people would text me, say, Brother Charles, am I on duty tonight? Brother Charles, am I supposed to come this Sunday to be a cameraman? Right now with the app, all these questions, it's not the end of the questions, but it's minimized because they know immediately. I'll tell them, check your X app, check your scheduling app. You will know immediately from there what your schedule is. Okay. So another thing that they will be able to see are your church events. Okay, they will be able to see the church calendar right from their X member app. They will be able to see the upcoming events. And in fact, if you have certain events that require registration, like for us now, because of the pandemic, we have our sitting in every service or every site. So we currently run 3 sites, 3 multi-site location, 3 preaching points, and each site can only have a cap of 100 persons. And so the only way we can facilitate that is through when they reserve their seats. And this app has really, really saved Sue a lot of time. She doesn't have to stay up too late often, because right from their phones they'll be able to register for themselves. They'll be able to register their reserved seats for their family members, and it's really amazing. And on top of that, okay, I'm not sure if there was a question about attendance taking. Okay, if not, I'm just gonna kind of share a little about that. So once an individual registers for an event or a service through, whether it's on the website or on the phone, they will be able to get a QR code, and your ushers will be able to scan them, and that will check in their attendance. Okay, I just got a text from Brother Darren saying I have 5 minutes. I still have so many questions. I'm gonna pick 2 more questions to answer, and then we'll take the rest offline. Okay. So I have a question here regarding curriculum. Okay. So the question is all of the curriculum lessons included in the subscription or a separate cost? Very good question. So I'm going to be flashing up my screen just to kind of share a little bit more about the pricing, because someone also asked the question about the pricing. Okay, so firstly, the subscription for X is not a one-time purchase. You're not having to purchase a software and installing it on your computer. X is a web-based application, okay, similar to other apps that you may have subscribed for, such as for those who use like Adobe or like Spotify or Microsoft 365, kind of works that way, okay? And so you pay either monthly or annually, okay? And you will be able to select how many profiles, and the profiles here are active profile for member profiles, okay? There will be no cap on guest profiles. Okay, so it will be based on how many member profiles. And back to the question on curriculum. Okay, so the curriculum is not included in the subscription. There is a certain cost to those curriculum, but you're not just paying for the material, you're paying for the training, and also in a sense that, if I could say, the certification of the people you are training so that they can actually teach those material. Okay. On the standard plan, if you are signed up for the standard plan, we will be actually giving 20 complimentary UTB training. So I shared earlier about the UTB series, you have 20 complimentary of that. When you sign up for the Plus, UTB is made unlimited to as many teachers you want to train. And lastly, in the Pro tier, all of the curriculum will be at no cost. Okay, so if you are signed up for the Pro tier, there will be no cost for any of the curriculum. It's unlimited. All right. Okay. I hope that answers the question, and I'm going on to the last question for today. Okay. I will answer this very good question. Okay, the last question for us today is: our pastor and some seasoned leaders are paper people. How would you bring them on board and provide training for them to use this? Excellent. So how we would usually do this, whether it's with our church in TJ or the many other churches that have signed up to be on board X, is that we understand the reality that many of us may not be tech savvy. We are used to the papers, we are used to the forms, okay. But I think the beautiful part is that we are here to kind of, like we shared earlier, our heartbeat is to kind of partner with you, okay. We are not here just to sell you a product and kind of like, okay, bye. We are here to partner with you. We are here to walk you together on this journey of onboarding you and your team and eventually your church onto the X system. So what we will usually do is we will have, for those who are signed up for any of our paid subscriptions, we will provide complimentary onboarding sessions with you and your administration team or your core team that will be helping you implement this. And in those sessions, we will share a little more pointers and tips on how you can eventually onboard your entire church onto X. So once again, like what we heard yesterday, when we talk about culture, in fact, integrating a system like this also, it takes culture, it takes time. It's not going to happen in a week. And so we will be there every step of the way to help you and your team integrate this and implement this together with your church as smoothly and successfully as possible. Okay, so that's what I want to assure you. And so in closing, I know there are still many questions I wish I could answer, but I leave you with something that if you are interested to find out more about X, and I know if I have not answered your question, I apologize, but do hit us up, drop us an email at sales@xnet.org. If not, you can, of course, definitely scan the QR code for the webinar. If I can get the team to help me flash up the QR code for the registration of webinar that Pastor will be holding at the end of this month and in the next month also. So do register your interest. There's an option for you to kind of like schedule for a demo with us. And we would love to sit down with you and walk you through much more in depth with the X system and our tools. At the end of the day, we want to be able to make, add value to you and your church and to help you together in making disciples.